What are you feeling about regulation, Claire?
I'm so pro regulation, it hurts. Like it's seeping out of think it's the best thing that can happen to this industry. Um, there is nothing against non-medic practitioners because there are truly some incredible non-medic practitioners.
Yeah.
They have worked and worked and worked, and they've done their studies, they've done the courses, they are extremely capable at their job. It's the ones, and even, when I was going through my level 5 training, it's not just non-medics that are given as a bad name. Then some of them are medics as well, medics that are working above what they've been taught because they've got this sort of ideology in their head, like, well, I'm a medic, it's fine.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Hi guys, it's Holly here at Faces. Welcome back to the Face It podcast. Today I'm with the gorgeous Claire from Evies Eden Aesthetics. Claire, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today. Really, really excited to speak to you.
I'm so excited for this.
Good. You've got a lovely tan. You're making me look extremely pale. Oh my God, I need to fake tan tonight. But you just come back off holiday, so good way to kickstart everything back into work mode. So just to start things off then, do you want to just give us some background into how you got into this industry and where your journey started and how you've grown your business?
Yeah, so I joined the industry about 2 years ago. I've been part of the local ambulance service where I am for probably about 7 years now. I started just on a whim. I went into the call centre because it was basically I'd had a baby. I needed a job.
Yeah.
I needed a good job that paid well because my car was breaking down and everything. It was just shambles at the time. And I slowly just worked my way up basically. So I'm a qualified emergency medical technician now on the ambulances. So I do the blue light driving and basically attend most emergencies when I'm on shift. I don't know how something happened. I needed a break from the ambulance. It got a bit overwhelming. And I thought, right, I really want to stay in medicine, and I want to change someone's life in a positive way. And I'd always looked at aesthetics. A few of my friends did aesthetics. And I thought, actually, do you know what? Maybe I should go and spend a day sort of shadowing a few people. That's what I did. And I just fell in love with it. And the way that you change the way that someone thinks about themselves is like, it just makes my day. They come in and they're quite, like, sometimes they can be very insecure and they're a bit nervous, and like they sit down with you, they're with you for an hour and you completely change the way that they think about themselves. And that is just something that you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I started 2 years ago, just on a whim. I went on a couple of training courses and just sort of stuck my head in really and just hope for the best. And
well,
now
you're
we're here
doing really
later.
well. So are you doing aesthetics full time or is it still part-time alongside working in ambulance?
Still part-time, still work along with the ambulance. I'm part-time in both, so that makes me full-time technically.
Okay. Yeah.
I do feel like it's very important to have some sort of experience medically wise, if possible. And I feel like it's so beneficial for me to stay within the ambulance service at the moment because I'm constantly learning, and there's a lot of CPD that you do, and you're staying on track of like any new changes to the JR calc and medications, and you just understand a lot more about what you're facing when you go into a clinic as well.
Yeah. Okay. So with regards to sort of future plans then, do you think eventually aesthetics will be something that you'd like to do full time? Because from obviously we've only spoken for 5 minutes, but I'm getting a vibe that you're very passionate about the ambulance service and you enjoy it. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm getting.
No, I'm very, very passionate about it. It's such a rewarding job. Don't get me wrong, it really is. But you burn out so quickly because it's such an emotionally taxing job.
Yeah.
Eventually, I want to take aesthetics full time. I would like to have my own clinic and potentially a teaching academy. I just feel like that is where I'm supposed to be. That's where life is supposed to take me. As much as I love the ambulance, I just want a little bit more freedom with my life and my time. And
Yeah.
aesthetics is going to give me that. And I know it will. And it'll give me the job satisfaction that I still get within the ambulance service, just in a different manner.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think this is something I discuss with loads of practitioners. It's that job satisfaction. You know, if
Yeah.
you're making your client smile or cry with happiness on a day-to-day basis, you can't have a bad day at work, surely, you know?
No, they can't.
And I
Can't.
think obviously the type of role that you have within the NHS with the ambulance, that is like totally different, but obviously that's a huge job satisfaction, isn't it, if when you're able to help somebody. So I think having had that and within that role to then go into a job that where you're not going to get that would probably be really quite difficult. But I think that's probably another reason why aesthetics is clearly something that you're meant to do, because you're still getting that kind of, what would you call it, that other than job satisfaction, just helping people, isn't it? Like that's,
yeah, you just get that feeling that you're meant to be there. This is what you're supposed to do. Sort of, this was your calling in life,
yeah,
type thing.
yeah,
It's just sort of, I'm so glad I found it. It was the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done. Still is the most nerve-wracking thing I've
yeah,
ever done. But best move I've ever done.
yeah. In regards to aesthetics, do you mean?
Yeah, 100%.
That's crazy that you say that, but you're literally saving people's lives. Like, like surely doing some Botox is like nothing in comparison to
Yeah,
that you've had
I
to
don't.
do.
I think there's so a lot of times there's a lot. I think you see a lot of like the life-saving part, like on the TV, especially when it comes to the ambulance. You see a lot of the dramatic life-saving and the big road traffic accidents and things, but that's not what reality is for us. I mean, we do get them, and you do get some exciting calls like births and things like that, and they're, you know, normal people don't experience that, and it's such a wonderful thing to be able to experience. But 9 times out of 10, it's, you know, a lot of people abuse the system, and you know, you don't see the dark side of it. And it's great for a few years, it really is, but it takes a special kind of human to be able to do it full time as a job for life, because
Yeah,
it really takes a toll on your mental health.
yeah, I've heard that. I know somebody who is a paramedic and she had to take time off work because, you know, some of the things she saw, and it's complete, you know, you'd expect it really, wouldn't you? And
Yeah,
I'm sure within your training they would kind of go through that. It's
yeah.
with how tough it is, and you know, it is a toll on your mental health for sure. But moving back to aesthetics, I just find it so fascinating. I could talk about the ambulance because I don't experience that, but
Yeah.
really interesting. But with regards to your aesthetics then, so doing your business part-time and then working in the NHS part-time as well, how did you find building your client base? Because when you're doing something part-time, you can't put your everything into it, and I think that's why a lot of people struggle to begin with. So what's worked for you?
um I'm I don't want to toot my own horn and say that I'm great on social media, because I'm not. But I'm quite I'm lucky that I suffer with OCD. So my life is revolved around lists, which is
Yeah,
great for me. So, you know, every day that I make sure that I either look at social media, or I'm following some trends, or I'm making sure that I'm keeping my social media up to date, you know, daily or every couple of days. I don't go more than 2 days without posting, unless, you know, we've gone on holiday and I'm like, I need
yeah,
a break.
yeah,
Leave
sure.
me alone. Just please. I'll come to you. I think I was I learned a lot in my first year. I was very grateful to find a salon very, very quickly into the sort of planning of opening a business. And oh, my lights have just died. typical.
Oh no, is this typical Wales?
Yeah, it is. If I move it, look,
Oh,
there we go.
Natural light's nice.
Light. Yeah, so I was very, very fortunate that I found a salon quite quickly to work in. I learned a lot in my first year, albeit it was amazing being there and I made some great friends. It probably wasn't the best setting for me. It was the wrong type of clientele that I was looking for.
Yeah.
It was a far younger audience. I hadn't really researched the salon enough, and that is like through my own fault because I didn't really know what I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
I hadn't researched the salon enough, and I hadn't researched the type of clientele that they were getting in. They were very, very young girls. We're talking 18, 19, 20. Ones that wouldn't be regular clients, ones that would do a one-off, just, you know, they're getting fillers on a whim because their mates have had it.
Yeah.
They come in because there is an offer, not because they're a loyal client.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I did find some amazing girls and boys that are my clients. They are great friends of mine now. You know, they wouldn't go anywhere else, which love them for that. But once I moved salons, once I understood what I needed to look for within a salon, that changed the whole game for me. It was the same as I branded the first time. When I branded myself the first time, I think I picked the wrong colors. I wasn't bold enough. I hadn't chosen the right kind of social media. It looked a bit tacky when I first started. And I think everyone goes through that stage of looking a little tacky.
Yeah.
And I think it's just what works for you and what you would look for within a company if you were to go for treatments. I want something that's sleek, simple, not overly complicated, and someone that isn't afraid to share ups and downs. You know, if you do get cancellations, if you do get no shows and things like that, just being realistic of what the industry is actually like, because you find so much at the moment that there are so many companies that sugarcoat it so badly. You go in and do these two-day courses and they're like, you're going to be earning 10 grand in a year.
Oh,
no fraction. You'll be doing it in a month, hun. Don't you worry.
Yeah. I can guarantee if I open Instagram now, there'll be a sponsored ad with like a pink Rolls Royce and like Dubai in the background. Like, this can be you. Just come on our 2-day course.
Yeah.
I see it all the time.
It's so scary. And I was that naive girl when I first started because I wasn't in a great place mentally. I'd seen some things in the service that I wasn't, you know, I wasn't oh, I can't even say it now, processing in my brain, basically. And I was doing it on a whim. I thought, right, I just need to get into something that I know that I think I'm going to love. And obviously I did the 2-day course and I thought, oh, am I qualified now? And you're just like, oh, right, that's it. That's it now. You're in.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're in. Here you go. You joined the club. Now
like,
here's your 10 grand.
And it's like, oh, I have no clients. Right, where do I start? And it's just sort of, social media is a godsend. It's a blessing and a curse at the same time.
It is.
The competition is rife. It really is rife. And I think it's a very oversaturated industry to come into. So girls that are coming in now, naturally you're going to struggle unless you've got some significant talent in what you do. They're going to struggle to build a business in this day and age. And unfortunately, that's just because it's so oversaturated because of these 1-day and 2-day courses. And, you know, people not understanding. Yes, they're CPD. Yes, they're great for upskilling yourself. Yes, they're great for, you know, if you haven't done a certain treatment for a while, they're great in that respect to keep up your knowledge and make sure that you're up to date what the industry is doing. They're amazing for that. And there are some amazing 2-3-day courses, and I have been on a few, and I can't fault them because I did learn stuff on them. But to just go on a 2-day course and then bang yourself out into the industry, I think is...
Yeah, it is wild. We'll move on to regulation and that kind of thing shortly. Just touching on what you said around, you know, finding the right salon if you are going to rent a space or clinic. I think that's a really important thing to highlight, because I guess at the time you're probably like, oh my God, there's a space, I've got an opportunity here.
Yeah.
Which I think is, you know, you shouldn't knock yourself for that. I think, you know, anyone would, it can be quite difficult to find a space these days.
Yeah.
Particularly because a lot of beauty salons will then decide to train in aesthetics themselves because they can see what money they can make. And obviously, someone coming in is jumping on the back of their client base, essentially. So I see that a lot. But I guess it did also mean that you had the opportunity to really just reevaluate everything. So I think it was probably a blessing in disguise that, you know, you went through that phase when you're trying to find your niche and find your purpose within, you know, the industry and how you want to come across as well. What is it about your current location which is really working for you?
I think the whole look of the salon in general benefits me massively. I mean, the room that I'm in now is tripled in size.
Really?
Quite tripled in size. She has the most beautiful salon I've ever seen. It's just been finished to the highest of standards. You know, you come in and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I do feel like this is a treat for me today.
Yeah, it's luxury.
Yeah, it's quiet luxury. It's not overdone. The girls that work there, they're truly amazing. They're one of a kind and friends for life. You know, we all support each other in the right kind of way. You know, if some of us are feeling a little bit burnt out, the others are like, hey, girls, we're here. It's all right. Like, we're a team, and it's wonderful in that sense. And the same with my room. You know, I have an electric bed, and to some people, they're like, oh, it's just a bed. It's not just a bed.
That's electric.
It's electric.
Right, I'm not a practitioner, right? But I know that's a big deal if you've got an electric bed.
I know, and the room is so spacious. The lighting in there is amazing. There's aircon in there. There's a heat, like, you know, and it can heat the room or cool the room down. So in the height of summer, people were coming in and they were cooling themselves down. It's just little things like that, that the little touches that make such a big difference to the client's experience when they come and see you.
The thing is, like you touched on with how competitive it is, like you can't, it's all well and good being a great injector, but it is about that full experience. If I'm paying £1,000 for my treatments, best believe I want to come in, be offered a cup of tea, I want to sit and chat, I want to feel relaxed, I want to be in a nice space. And I think a lot of practitioners forget that it's such a big deal for the client to get treatments like that. You know, of course, if you're spending so much money, you want it. It's more than just a treatment, isn't it? It's from when you book in, or even before you book in, to the aftercare and everything in between. And it is those little things like, you know, having aircon, like, yeah, love that. Electric beds, like, yes. I absolutely love that. So have you found that in terms of the clientele then, presumably clients that were already going to the salon have, you know, come to you as well for their treatment?
Yeah, I'd say about 85% of them followed me. There was a period of about 4 or 5 weeks where I literally had no salon. You know, things came to an end in the last salon. It wasn't working out. It wasn't working for either of us. And it was just best to walk away at that point rather than sever any relationships. You know, it's one of those things. It's something that you'll come across like professionally in so many scenarios, and it's just something you're going to have to learn to deal with. She was just, the salon that I'm in now, she was renovating it at the time. So it was all brand new when we walked, like when I arrived, and it was just the whole aesthetic of the place just gives you that luxurious feeling. Okay, yeah, I'm paying a lot of money, but it's worth it because I'm here for an hour and it's sort of, you know, you're getting your money's worth out of what you're
Yeah.
paying for.
Yeah. And I think with that, it adds credibility to you as a practitioner as well. If you're in that kind of space, obviously not everyone, that's not going to suit everyone. You know, some practitioners have that younger client base, or you know, they're in a less affluent area, so different things work for different client bases. But I think, you know, you decided at that point, you know, I want to be targeting these types of people.
Yeah,
It just fits within what you're looking for in terms of how you're wanting to advertise your brand and the sorts of clients that you're wanting to treat as well.
definitely.
Just with regards to that, what sort of treatments are you finding your clients are loving at the moment?
Anti-wrinkle toxin is
Okay.
probably the most popular
Yeah.
uh, treatment that I do. We all love a bit of toxin. I am such a fiend for toxin. You can't tell right now, it's wearing off. I'm due it again. I know I am. But yeah, toxin is becoming fast, very, very popular again. It was fillers for a little while when I first started. Things like the skin boosters are becoming quite popular, and a lot of skincare is now coming back into cycle, like microneedling and chemical
Yeah.
peels,
Yeah.
dermaplaning. They're all coming back now, which is nice. I think we've shifted away from sort of the early 2000s fake look,
Yeah.
and we're all now learning about our skin. We're trying to understand what works for us. We're trying to understand what's actually feasible to maintain
Yeah.
throughout the years, because you know, as the cost of living goes up, prices are going to go naturally, but you don't want to get rid of the luxuries that you do get, which is your anti-wrinkle treatments, which are your chemical peels. Little things like that make you feel better about yourself.
100%.
And I think with society and how we are changing as a society, I think skincare is now becoming a really big aspect of self-care. You see it all over TikTok, all these new moisturizers like snail mucin and all these things are coming back out, and you're like, it's been out for years.
Yeah.
It's been
I
out for years.
know. And I wish these crazy, I know it's not really a craze, but I wish skincare was this big when I was a teenager. Literally, I
Yeah,
wish. Like, because I love skincare, but obviously when we were teenagers, I guess, like, or when I was a teenager, there just wasn't like, there was no social media really. So there was
no,
just no like influence, I guess, with regards to that kind of thing. But I think you're so right in terms of the, yeah, like microneedling, like obviously microneedling's been around for years and years, but I swear in this last like 6 months, everyone's like now obsessed with microneedling again, which I think is great because it's a cheap treatment to do if you're a practitioner, so it's not going to cost you loads to do. The
no.
With regards to clients, it's a great maintenance treatment with great results. And it, like you say, because of cost of living, they might want to opt for that kind of treatment rather than Profilo, for example. I know they're completely different, but it's more cost effective, but still you can get
Yeah,
great results from it.
amazing. Yeah, you can, especially if you're purchasing the right products that work with microneedling. I mean, obviously, I've always been in business, you have to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
And like, I forever stand by that, especially in the aesthetics industry. You need to spend to make. I don't think, you know, we're 2 years in, and don't get me wrong, I've had profit. Nothing significant to like sort of shout from the rooftops, be like, I'm a millionaire. It's great. It's amazing. I
Yeah.
can't wait. It's sort of, no, I'm still spending,
Yeah.
spending like it's out of fashion,
Yeah.
but it's worth it because you give the clients the results that they want and they come back, and that money that you're pouring in is going to pay off in the next couple of years.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Just out of interest, what serums and products do you think are kind of working for those types of treatment for you, sorry, and your clients at the moment?
I
I like to know what everyone's using, and it might help anyone else watching as well.
I use the MC Cosmetics anti-aging serums. So they come in like little glass vials. And I just think they sit so beautifully on the skin. I use the MC Cosmetics peels as well, the glycolic peel and the lactic acid peel. They're two I'm obsessed with them. I just find the results are amazing. They suit most skin tones, and my clients have had stunning results from them. They're not too, cost effective wise, they are quite cost effective. The anti-aging serum is quite expensive to buy in, but I find that the product goes such a long way that you do make your money out of it massively. The profit margin within it is so good, but the results do speak for themselves, because it's quite a thick serum, and it doesn't sit on top of the skin. When you do microneedle, you do have to keep applying it, because it just absorbs it so quickly. So you know that the client is getting all this goodness into their skin. And in a couple of weeks, they're going to be sending you a message. My skin is glowing. I am obsessed.
Oh my God, I want it right now. I'm like, I really need this serum. I'm going to look at it afterwards. So amazing. That sounds fantastic. And I think, considering you're working part-time doing this, part-time doing your NHS, you're in a fantastic position, and obviously hard work, dedication. It seems like you're in a very sweet spot at the moment. You've got your amazing room, you're working with an amazing team, and your clients are clearly loving it. So that's great. Where is the business headed? What goals have you got in the next sort of 12 to 24 months?
12 to 24 months. I'm currently studying my level 7 diploma in aesthetic practice. I've recently, in the last couple of weeks, completed my level 5.
Amazing.
I already hold quite a few qualifications medically anyway. But obviously, when we go on to the regulation side of things, I felt it was so important to get your level 5 and level 7. So hopefully by sort of February, March next year, I will have completed my level 7. Obviously, they take some time to complete. I'm hoping that I do my teaching qualification next year. I would like to get my level 5 teaching and assessing, because you do make money in the teaching side, but I also want to show and educate people on the things that I wasn't educated on to begin with, things that I've come across over the last couple of years that I've been working, and still to this day come across new things that I was just simply never taught. And I find that it's so important. You're always going to come across something that you need to learn. It's a constant growing industry, isn't it? There's constant development. There's always new things to learn. There's new treatments, there's new products, there's new techniques. It's just constant. And I find that's great, because there's a constant need for CPD, which means that you're upskilling yourself continuously, which is the whole point of CPD. 24 months, ideally, I would like my own clinic. I would like my name in front on big in a shop.
Oh wait, where does Evies Eden come from? We've not covered that.
So Evies Eden, my daughter her middle name is Evie, so she's Lily Ray Evie.
Oh, gorgeous.
And it's a bit of a sob story. It's not really a sob story, but I spent a lot of time in the ambulance service when I worked full time. She spent majority of her time with a childminder. So I didn't really raise her for a couple of years. I missed out on the younger years. She's almost 7 now. So obviously there's mum guilt. There's huge mum guilt when it comes to it. And there always will, and mums will understand. I didn't do some of the things I should have done, because I was so career focused, because I wanted to get ourselves into a position where we were comfortable. I was a single parent, I had no money. I left a really turbulent relationship, sort of walked away from it and thought, right, I just need to start fresh now. And the only goal for me was work, buy a house. Well, we worked, we bought a house, and then I was like, okay, where do we go from here? And then obviously I wanted to name the business in honor of her, because she's the reason why I've done it. I want to be at home with her. I want to spend more time with her. I want to be able to teach her the things that I wasn't taught as a child, and I want to experience everything with her. And the only way I'm going to do that is to be able to have a business. Basically, I can teach her everything she needs to know. So it's an honor of her, really.
Oh, that is just, I've got goosebumps. I was speaking to someone earlier about your why, and that is clearly your why. You know,
Yeah,
your daughter is what has pushed you
yeah,
to do this. And I think if once you find your why, whatever it may be, whether it's purely financial, whether it's to make your family proud, whether it's to support your children, whatever it might be, I think that that is what is going to drive you to work hard to make it happen, isn't it? And I think that's
yeah,
really important. You can't just sort of
100%.
come into this industry just cause, you know, there has to be a reason as to why.
Yeah.
Just going on to regulation then, just because I know this is something that you're very passionate about. I think a lot of people are. What are your feeling? I can't talk. What are you feeling about regulation, Claire?
I'm so pro regulation, it hurts. Like it's seeping out of my pores. I think it's the best thing that can happen to this industry. Um, there is nothing against non-medic practitioners, because there are truly some incredible non-medic practitioners.
Yeah.
They have worked and worked and worked, and they've done their studies, they've done the courses, they are extremely capable at their job. It's the ones, and even, when I was going through my level 5 training, it's not just non-medics that are given as a bad name. Then some of them are medics as well, medics that are working above what they've been taught, because they've got this sort of ideology in their head, like, well, I'm a medic, it's fine.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they can make mistakes. But then obviously you do have the 2-day course non-medic girls and boys who are coming into the industry. They don't know anything, and they're sat injecting people and causing some serious damage. You've got the people who are trying to cut corners by ordering illegal products off Instagram pages or TikTok ads or Facebook groups, things like that. And it's those dangers that have given the industry such a bad name.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scaremongering going at the moment, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, I don't know why, but it's aimed at non-medics.
Yeah.
And that frustrates me a little bit. Yes, there are non-medics who are giving us a bad name, but there are also medics who are giving us a bad name.
I think, do you know what, for me, I think that's what is not okay.
Yeah.
It's so if a non-medic causes a vascular occlusion and a medic does, best believe we'll hear about the non-medic doing it. No one will say anything about the medical professional doing it.
No.
Yeah, so we shall see anyway. But do you think that with, obviously you've done your level 5, you're onto your level 7 now. Have you learned more from doing your level 5 and starting to do your level 7 than you knew?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was more, I'm quite competent. I'm very confident with sort of the human anatomy.
Yeah.
Obviously, given the job that I do alongside the aesthetics, what I've learned more is the general sort of industry itself, the regulators that are coming in, the governing bodies that are going to be coming in, who we work in partnership with. A lot of that I wasn't actually aware of. A lot of it I've learned more with the health and safety side of things.
Yeah.
I've begun to understand more of sort of in depth of what we actually need to be looking at when considering setting up a business.
Yeah.
The qualify, if you're going to go with a level 5 or a level 7, obviously make sure that they're qualify courses or with another governing body or an educational board that is recognised, because you're just going to waste your money. wise.
Yeah.
I'm currently doing a qualify one, and the level of information that is on there is, you do know things, but you don't appreciate how much of an effect it has on your business and the way that you work until you're sort of reading more on it and you're researching it more. And I couldn't believe the amount that I learned about health and safety. And I thought I was, I was all right. I was pretty confident with the health and safety side of things. And I was like, oh, actually, do you know what? Maybe I could learn a bit here.
That's really good to know, because I think a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to just put all that money into it just for we don't even know what's happening yet with the regulation. How I see it is, these qualifications, regardless of regulation and regardless of licensing, are going to make you a better practitioner, because you're going to learn more. You're going to be a better all-rounded practitioner, regardless of whether you need them or not. So no, that's really good feedback. Who have you done your qualifications with?
I'm currently with Beauty Work Aesthetics. They're Liverpool, I can't say the place, Burscough, Liverpool, Southport side.
Okay.
They've been, they've been great. They've been amazing. The assessor that we've had as qualifying assessor, and she was amazing as well. I'm quite excited to carry on with my level 7 things. I'm quite excited to learn I did a lot of research behind what company I was to go with, because obviously there are a lot of companies that jumped on the bandwagon, and I will call it a bandwagon because it was a money-making opportunity. The second a sniff of those regulations came out, they were all over it. There were so many companies creating courses, and it was just sort of, a lot of it has, I was almost bullied into joining a course by quite a popular, well, I'm not sure, I've heard about them for a while. I don't want to name names because
Please, I want to know. I want
to... It starts with a C.
Okay.
I think they're all over Instagram.
Okay.
All over Instagram. And I think sometimes they double back on what they say. And they were quite pushy over the phone.
Okay.
Trying to get me to sign up to their course. And like, no, you're going to need it. No, I'm okay. Right now, I don't actually need it. It's more of a personal choice that I'm doing it because I know it's going to benefit myself and my business and my clients in the future. But I'm not going to be bullied into picking a course just because you think you're the top of the game right now.
Yeah.
It's not right. There are young girls who are being potentially bullied into doing these courses and being charged an extortionate amount.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
They're not cheap at all. You do have to really consider whether this industry is for you, because the money that you spend tens of thousands of pounds on, courses alone. That's without all of your equipment that you're going to need. That's without all of your branding that you're going to do. And if you're lucky enough to do it yourself, you'll save a lot of money, but you're still going to spend tens of thousands of pounds to become an adequate practitioner within the industry. And that's what they need to stop hiding.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that's what people don't consider when they do their training is how much will my insurance be? How much will my kit be? How much will I need to spend on a room rent? Social media, like you say, all of these things, additional training. Because I think a lot of people, they do their pathway course and then they think, oh, that's it. No, it's not. You should be doing master classes. You should be investing, at least for that first year, you should be investing everything back into your learning and into your business if you want to do well. And I think that's why a lot of people do train and then they just drop off, because they then realize that it's not just that £1,000 kit that they do for their training. It's everything else.
the first 2 years. If you're lucky, you don't make money for the first 2 years. After that, you might make money, but even then, you know, there's an amazing WhatsApp group filled with aesthetic practitioners across the UK, you know, Wales, England, Scotland, Northern Ireland. And it's just a safe place for all of us, you know, voice our opinions and gain support. You know, if something's gone wrong in an appointment with a client, they can send a picture with consent from the client, and they're like, do you know what, girls, I need some help. Can anyone advise me on this? The same with when the first scaremongering tactics came out about all of the regulations coming in. A lot of girls were very worried because they were like, oh, I've only just done my course, you know, I'm really scared that I'm gonna have to spend a fortune again. And then I went, well, you should be spending a fortune anyway.
Yeah.
You should be doing it anyway, because not only for your business, but for yourself, it gives you more peace of mind that you are far more competent and your knowledge is far greater to be able to deal with certain crises that may arise. You know, a vascular occlusion, you really need to be competent on how to deal with those. Anaphylaxis, you need to be competent on how to deal with those. Any kind of like, you know, collapse episode, you need to be confident in how to deal with those. It's little things like that, ensuring your patient safety, and something that you don't consider when you start this business. Doing a 2 day course, you're not going to learn that.
Yeah, 100%. I think I agree with everything you're saying. I feel like that was a bit of a negative to finish on. I want to finish on a positive. So we talked about where your business is going. What positive can we talk about?
Trying to think now.
Talk about like proudest moment in the industry.
Proudest moment in the industry. I think at the moment was passing my level 5.
Yeah.
I think that, not that I had self-doubt, because I'm quite a confident queen most of the time, but there are episodes where you're like, oh God, am I going to pass this? Am I going to do this? And you know, it was a moment I was like, when I got the news, I reflected a lot in that moment. I thought, this is what I'm supposed to do. I know I'm supposed to be here. You know, if I wasn't going to pass the course, it wasn't meant to be. It just means that I'm not, you know, it's maybe not where I should be going. But they were like, no, you've passed it. It's fine. There's nothing to worry about. Like, you need to start your level 7 ASAP because we need to get you on it. You know, you're showing potential and all things like that, and being able to celebrate that, it was amazing. And then when you tell your clients and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing, I love this is great, what else are you offering, can I try it? And it's such a nice thing. And then when you do your level 7, obviously you're going to go in depth with your toxins, and like, I know I'm going to learn more, and I'm so excited to learn more with my toxins, because I think that is going to become, I think that's where I want to almost specialize in, is toxins, and, you know, enhancing natural beauty, or allowing someone to age gracefully without even knowing that you've had work done. I think that is just, being able to do that is such a skill, and it's something I'm so excited to like continuously learn, because I think that's where the industry is going now. I think natural beauty is where it's at.
100%. Thank you so much, Claire, for coming on the podcast. I've loved speaking with you. I feel like I want to do a ambulance special and just talk about the ambulance service, because I'd love to know more as well.
Oh my God, I'm definitely up for that, 100%.
Oh my God, should I do like a medical special episode? Everyone who's not a healthcare professional will be like, what is this?
Oh my God, what are we into.
I know, yeah, exactly. But honestly, loved speaking with you. So proud of you, and congratulations on passing your level 5. And cannot wait to speak to you in like 6 months' time and see where you're at with everything. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I will send you this when it's been edited, and the team will do some reels and things like that. We have a Faces support. It's not really a support group. Basically, I have a select few practitioners. There's like 50, so a bit more than a few, in a WhatsApp group for faces development, and we didn't even talk about faces. Doesn't matter, it's fine.
I love faces, it's great.
About faces development, and you'll have access to new features when they come out, and everyone on there is so nice. It's really supportive. Do you want me to add you in? Because I'm more than happy.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah,
it's just a WhatsApp group. You're probably sick of all these WhatsApp groups, but everyone on there is so sweet. And Ash and Ben are going to put together like a webinar to everyone in there to show them new features and get feedback and that kind of thing, because it's really important to us. So I will add you into that. But yeah, anything you need, just let me know. Okay.
Thank you so much.
No worries, lovely. All right, really enjoyed it. I'll speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye. Bye.